Welcome to our journey into the past, where we explore the positive impact of extinct creatures. What's scarier than an alligator sitting in and waiting in the murky waters of a river, I hear you ask? How does a 35-foot one lurking beneath the water sound? If you lived around 80 million years ago, you would have been faced with it. It is also known as the Kaprosuchus. You might be thinking you could outrun the beast thanks to its hefty 5 tons of weight, but with a huge 4-foot skull you might want to rethink this plan, as chances are you wouldn't get far without being snapped. The Kaprosuchus snacked on various dinosaurs that were unfortunate enough to stoop down for a drink at the rivers they were in, so we should be thankful that these swimming nightmares haven't made an appearance in our time. Helicoprion might sound like a Pokemon, but the last thing you want to do is catch this fish. Sharing its looks with the modern-day shark, the Helicoprion has one feature that really makes it stand out. Rather than just having the traditional terror of row upon row of razor-sharp teeth, this fish also had a special tooth whorl somewhere in its mouth. This was effectively a circular saw of teeth that were ready to be used as and when needed. Scientists are still arguing over the location and exact purpose of the tooth whorl, but if there is one thing that definitely doesn't make a 39-foot killer fish more frightening, it's an additional saw-like circle of mysterious teeth. Forest rhapsody may be a mouthful for us, but if they were still around now, we would certainly be one for them too. Colloquially known as terror birds, these monsters were the apex predators in South America from 62 to 1.8 million years ago. The largest terror bird could measure almost 10 feet tall, and when they got a little peckish they would throw their prey down on the ground with incredible force before eating it whole. If their prey was a little too large for this, then this was no problem either, as the bird would simply rip pieces of flesh from the poor animal with both its beak and razor-sharp claws. Arthropleura means jointed ribs in Greek, and whilst I'm not sure what my reaction would be if I saw 7.5 feet of jointed ribs walking towards me, I could guarantee it would involve a high-pitched noise of some sort. These hellish millipedes may have been herbivores, but they were that large that they did not have any predators and were free to scuttle around the forest floor, being generally terrifying. Let's set the scene. You are sitting down by the lake enjoying a picnic and just watching the world go by when, out of the corner of your eye, you see a couple of beautiful dragonflies swoop past before landing on a leaf. Now imagine that you are trapped in a living nightmare, and those pretty dragonflies, which you just saw, are actually over 2 feet wide and look like they are ready to eat you. This was the case approximately 300 million years ago when the Meganeura was terrifying the skies. Moving a little closer to home, the Gigantopithecus was a huge and powerful ape that roamed across areas of Asia as recently as 100,000 years ago. They were the largest known apes ever to have lived, and standing up to 9.8 feet tall and weighing up to 540 kilograms, they are roughly 7 times as heavy as the modern orangutan. Now is the perfect time to remind you that modern-day orangutans are up to 7 times stronger than a male human, so I'll let you imagine how powerful the Gigantopithecus would have been. Fortunately, unless you were a piece of fruit or bamboo, you would have been safe from this massive ape, as they were strictly herbivores. Still, seeing something this big appearing through the trees must have been quite a sight for our early ancestors. Continuing the theme of scary animals with extremely hard to pronounce names, the Kaprosuchus is the next creature on our list. Everybody has experienced the horrific feeling of a piece of seaweed rubbing against their leg when they are paddling and assuming they are going to be eaten by a creature of the deep. Well, if the Kaprosuchus was still alive today, that fear may have been more of a reality. This cephalopod made life beneath the waves a nightmare for any other animals unfortunate enough to be swimming around 470 million years ago. With a total length of 6 m, this ambush predator laid in wait for unsuspecting prey to swim past, and as soon as it did, the tentacles and huge mouth were on it in a flash, and that was the end of that. The incredibly creative name of this 60-million-year-old snake literally translates to Titanoboa, and when you see just how big it was, you will see why it earned this moniker. Researchers have estimated that this monster would have been able to reach lengths of 42 feet and a weight of over a ton. With the Earth being warmer on average back when Titanoboa was alive and well, this enabled it and many other cold-blooded snakes to grow to sizes well beyond what is the norm now. With the ability to swallow a modern-day crocodile whole, it is safe to say that if Titanoboa was here today, cases of ophidiophobia or fear of snakes would skyrocket. This crocodile on steroids grew up to a length of up to 21 feet, and that is the least scary thing about it. Kaprosuchus is not like the crocodiles we know today. This beast chased down its prey using its 4 long legs, and it would have been able to take down all but the largest of animals alive at the time. Once it had caught up with the poor creature it had decided was going to become dinner, things would all be over swiftly with a sudden bite from the boar-like teeth that protruded from its mouth. Nature is scary, there is no doubt about that, but I think we all need to take a step back and be thankful that we don't have to contend with crocodiles that could swallow us down in one gulp, or a shark which had an ancient saw in its mouth.